The radical thought for today comes out of the daily reading of the one-year Bible, Luke 2:51. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject to them, but his mother kept all these things in her heart. In today's reading, we get a glimpse into Jesus' life when he was a child. I don't know about you, but I often wondered about what that might have been like. What would it have been like to grow up in the home of Joseph and Mary as Jesus was growing up? What kind of a child was he? How did he relate to his brothers and sisters, and how did they relate to him? Our text today for the day gives us a picture that indicates that Jesus was not a normal kid. At 12 years old, he could sit and converse with mature adults in a way that many adults can't. This young boy from the small town of Nazareth was able to function for 3 days on his own, being in the big city of Jerusalem. When his parents came back to find him, they found him in the temple with the religious leaders, and his parents asked him for an explanation and to inform him why were they, why they'd done that to him, and they'd been looking for him everywhere and finally found him there after 3 days. He then asked them why they searched everywhere. They should have known that he would be in his father's house, which would have probably sounded like a perplexing thing, especially to Joseph and Mary, because they came from Nazareth, and so that's where they would have considered their home. Even at the age of 12, Jesus' connection to God the Father was strong. He knew who he was and what he was on the earth to do. I sometimes wonder about that as well. I know Jesus was perfect and sinless, but I marvel at how he could patiently wait for another 18 years until he was 30 before he would begin to reveal his identity and begin his public ministry. Our verse tells us that he went back to Nazareth with his parents and was obedient to them. Jesus, the second person of the Godhead, was obedient to his human parents whom he had created. We'll never truly grasp the significance of that. Jesus had humbled himself to a level that none of us will ever be called to humble ourselves. At the age of 12, he was spiritually more mature than the religious leaders of his day. Compared to Jesus, Joseph and Mary were ignorant, simple people, and still he humbled himself and was obedient to them. It's possible that you may find yourself in a similar situation. Maybe God has blessed you with knowledge, wisdom, experience, faith, or something else that is greater than that of those around you. And as God, through his sovereign choice, he may have placed you in a role where you are called to be obedient to ignorant, simple people. Now, many people in those circumstances would use their superiority to elevate themselves to greater positions. If God has blessed you with special gifts and abilities, you should be using those to build others up instead of yourself. This goes against human wisdom. We're taught and encouraged by our society to claw and scratch our way to the top of the food chain, of the corporate ladder, whatever it might be, leaving whatever human carnage behind as is necessary for us to be successful. True success is seen in those who are using God's gifts to make others successful. Pray this prayer with me. Jesus, teach us to lift up others more than ourselves. The Radical Thought is a ministry of the Radical Word. Go to radicalword.com to find out more about the things that we do and things we put out to help you to grow in your faith. Until next time, let Jesus do something radical in your life.